Hey friend, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather Taylor. I'm a silver director here at Farmasi, and thank you so much for tuning in to this video. Make sure you hit subscribe, and that way you get a notification every time a new video pops up. We are going to talk about brows today, okay? I get tons of questions on brows, and I don't pretend to be the brow expert by no means, but I am here to share with you what little bit of knowledge I have gained here recently about brows, okay? So Farmasi has a few different products when it comes to brows. You've got your brow pencil, which is obviously very loved. It is not this small when you get it. So this is our brow pencil. You have powder. So we have brow powder, and we also have a pomade. And then there are some brow gels that we offer. They're not my fave. I don't really dabble in those. These are the three that I go to. Now, the pencil to me is not my favorite. I am a lover of the powder, and the reason being is I feel like with the pencil having a little bit of a waxier base to it, I can really feel like my brows are there. I can feel like something's there, whereas the powder, I don't even notice that I've done anything. There's no weight added to my face or anything like that, and I get great results with it. So that's what I'm going to show you today. This is the Farmasi brow powder, and this is in the shade Blonde. And we're going to use the Farmasi double-ended pencil today. Not pencil, brush today. Now, one thing you must have if you're going to do your brows is you need a brow brush, okay? You want a brush that is fairly thin, fairly firm. A spoolie is always a good option. I love the dual-ended products because it's easy to grab and in a hurry and stuff like that to apply your makeup. But when you have a really thick brush or a brush not really made for your brows, you can end up getting a really fat looking brow that we don't want, or you've got to spend a lot of time carving it out with concealer or something like that. And we want easy life. We want easy makeup. We are not trying to go crazy every morning to get ready, right? So we're going to take our brow powder and we're going to use that today with this brush. So when you start to look at your brows, I have some brows, but they are starting to fade in certain areas. So I want to go in and fill those areas in and just kind of frame my face out with my eyebrows. So I'm going to take my brush to figure out where they start. Take your brush and run up against, you see this little divot in your nose? Run that through the corner of your eye. That is where you want your brows to start, okay? You take your brush and you pivot it, still on that little insert of your nostril, go through your pupil. That right there is where you want the top of your arch. That's where your arch is going to start coming back down. Take your pencil and go again, line it up with the outer corner of your eye. That is where you're going to want your brows to end, okay? So that's basic shape that you're going to follow. And we're going to follow along with what we kind of already have, and it's going to depend on how much brow you have. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm just dipping it in. And I'm going to look at my brows. And what I'm going to do, the easiest thing for beginners to do, in my opinion, is basically we're going to draw a line on the bottom. We're going to draw a line on the top. We're going to marry it all together, okay? So take your brush and we're going to follow with what we already have. I'm just going to draw a line up into my arch. Now, when I do my brows in the morning, I do this in like 5 seconds. I don't even thinking about it, and I just fill them straight in. You really get used to it once you start doing it, and it takes you no time, and you don't even think about it. So dip your brush back into your powder, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw a line on the top, connected back to my arch. Then I'm going to come in, and what you want to do in the center, we're going to marry these two lines, but we want to do little tiny little flicks, because we want to mimic the feel of a natural hair. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to flick my brush and I'm just filling it in. And the front of it can be whatever you want it to be. If you want it to have a boxier shape, do a boxier shape. If you want it to be feathered in and really have some blend to it, do it. Do whatever feels natural and easy for you. So then I'm going to come back on my tail. Where I drew those two lines together, we're just going to come in and I'm just doing some flick motions and blending it out. Okay, take your spoolie, and we're just going to kind of run back through our brow. Now, keep in mind, they're sisters, not twins. Just don't make them distant cousins, okay? We don't want distant cousins. We want sisters. But they're not going to be identical, so don't put that stress on yourself that you've got to have them perfect, because it's not going to happen, okay? So we're going to do the same thing on this other side. And then we're just going to fill them in. I feel like brows are one of those things that really intimidates people, and it really isn't that hard, and you really shouldn't feel intimidated by it. And just finish out your tail. And then brush through. If you deal with having a lot of like here, there, and yonder hairs that you really kind of need to lay down, you have two things that you can do. The first one is we do offer a brow gel. You can get them tinted, or you can get a clear brow gel, and once you finish your brows, you can run back through with that and kind of hold all your brows in place. Keep them from kind of being all squiggly and all over the place, especially if you have coarser hair. Another option is to actually kind of cut your eyebrows down. So you can do two things. You can take a spoolie like this, brush your brows up and kind of hold them up and just trim the excess, or they actually make facial razors that have attachments that are for your eyebrows. So you put the attachment on there. It's like a little guard that measures out everything, and you can just run through. That's actually what I do with mine, because my brows, what hairs that I do have, especially in the middle, they grow really long. I can't get anything to come up here, but the middle, they just want to run rapid. So I just run that razor through my brows about once a month, and it makes it a lot easier with trying to do my eyebrows. So there you go. Whether you choose a pencil, powder, pomade, gel, whatever you choose, it's not as hard as you've made up in your mind. Don't let your mind get control of you, but brows are really simple to do, but they really help to frame your face. And really, especially if you're doing a really dramatic eye, you want those brows because it's going to accentuate and frame out your eyes for you. So there you go. There's brows. Thanks for watching, y'all.